we looked at a situation where we missed. How can we fix this? And I think that's really important. In this industry, it's so a finger pointing industry at sometimes, but you have to own your own stuff, and that's when you will be respected, and you will feel respected about the work that you do.
Welcome to the Builder's Blueprint podcast. Today I got Keri Michelle with me, and she'll kind of introduce herself in a minute, but whoever is listening and this growing community, the idea behind our podcast, Keri, is to bring interior designers, architects, builders in discussion and talk about, their careers, what influencing them usually, and how is their day-to-day, talk about their journey in the industry. And pretty much for me, the main reason to do this podcast is to bring awareness and to talk about, things that people are not necessarily talking about all the time, which is the struggle of running a business and the journey and the moments you're having in between.
Yeah.
So welcome in.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Maybe we'll start with just an introduction. Just tell us about yourself.
Absolutely. My name is Keri. My studio is Keri Michelle Interiors. We're here in Solana Beach as well, just across the way, across from the train station. So yeah, we've been in business or so for, I'd say, going on 6-7 years. We're a small design firm. I like to say we're kind of a boutique design firm. We do all scale projects from new builds to renovations and a ton of furniture and furnishings. I started about 7-something years ago. I started design school. And at the same time I was in design school, I happened to run by Tile Collective with a friend when she was over closer to Fletcher's Cove, and that was my first experience into the whole design world. She was where I started my career, I would say, and had an internship there, and then it really blossomed after that.
Very cool. You got an amazing crew, I must say. There is a really good vibe. So I walked to Keri's office the other day.
Our crew is, I'm very lucky.
I think that thing just stood out to me, that you got like really good spirits in there, and that felt really good from the first moment. So just this full disclosure, me and Keri are running a project in Del Mar right now for pretty much Keri's client, and she brought me in, and we kind of developed that plan into what we call now a construction process, starting with an ADU, moving to the main house. Super exciting. I think the location is really good for
it's amazing.
Both of our businesses, and it's just a good experience overall.
Yes, absolutely.
So, thank you for your introduction, and maybe tell me more about your, interior design journey. What made you kind of walk the walk?
How did I get here? I think that's really a great question, because we all have a different path and we all have a different story. Mm-hmm. And we all stumble into this industry for many different reasons. For me, personally, I could go back to when I was a child. My dad built a home when I was little, and that was when there was a lot of land everywhere in Northern California. And prior to construction, my dad and I would walk framed houses all the time. And I just I really, we don't remember a lot from our childhood, but I remember these walks with my dad and looking at the spaces and wondering where the kitchen was and where the bathroom was, and then, imagining how it was going to be completed. It was just so intriguing to me. Like, the whole world is fascinating, the construction world. So I feel like that's a little bit of where it all stemmed from me. And then my mom was really into the interior of her home, so I was always helping her go out to the garden, and we would work in the garden and bring in stems and flowers and put them in different rooms, and I would always help her with bedding. And so she was a big part of my inspiration as well. Growing up, I ended up going to Santa Barbara and became a teacher, but I almost went to San Francisco to the design school, but I didn't.
Really? So, I didn't know that about you. Okay, that's cool.
So I didn't. I went to Santa Barbara instead, and I got my teaching credential, and I was a teacher for 10 plus years.
Really? Teaching what?
Kindergarten.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a transition.
Total different world. And I loved it until I became a mom. got to be a stay-at-home mom for many years, and then after that, I was like, I don't want to go back to teaching. Okay. I had a flood in my house in Carlsbad, hired a designer, but I ended up doing the whole thing by myself.
You were the nightmare client.
No, she never showed up.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
She was MIA. It actually turned out to be a blessing.
I was a nightmare client.
Oh, I'm sure you would
Myself,
be.
I was.
Yeah, we're our own worst critic. But
yeah.
The contractor was wonderful. I actually ended up doing my complete downstairs renovation with him. It was just a really great learning experience. Unfortunately, during that time, though, afterwards, I got a divorce. And my mom really encouraged me to go to design school. And I did. I went to design school. And at the same time I was at design school, that's when I started interning for Devin at Tile Collective. And here we are. A little bit about my journey, and I really do love it. I would encourage anyone to do this if you have a creative side, but also a passion just working with people and a team. And I love the beginning to the end. It's a really hard process, but amazing.
You know what's interesting, Keri, that people are telling me sometimes about their previous careers and where they were before coming into the design build industries or whatever it is, and it is always something that now when I'm a little older, I'm not that old, but when I'm a little older, I can understand how even teaching can help you. Managing energies, managing parents, managing situations, and being with this concierge attitude, how that benefits your business. And people don't understand what it means to run a business and how everything matters.
Yes.
How you treat your employees, how you treat your clients, and how you learn from every step of the way. So really cool. And the other thing is that I really like that you just said. You cannot come to the industry if you don't have that in you. I mean, you started with your dad and mom and dad when you were just a kid, and maybe you don't have the memory, but you do have the experience.
Yes,
and
an
you
appreciation and an appreciation. I think all of us we don't even know our creative side until we find it. Like I couldn't sketch something for you if you asked me to, right? That's not my creativity. So we all have something. I think we all have creativity within us. You just have to find it, and I'm grateful for my parents for sharing that with me as a kid and allowing me to have that experience. I never thought it would bring me to where I am today.
Even if there is just this one listener now listening and thinking about switching careers, I think that's really big. It's just to be brave and say, I'm not going back to where I don't want to go back to. I'm pursuing my passions, and I think it will be a happier place overall if people actually do what they want to do.
My children actually, to that point, we've been recently, I have a 19 and a 16-year-old, 2 boys, and they've been telling me lately that they want to be rich. And I can't get it through their heads that that's not the goal. The goal is to find something that you love and then make that money for you. Because being rich, I tell them all the time, you can be the most unhappy person on the planet and be rich, whatever that means. So find your creativity or find your passion and let that lead the way. So, trying to teach 2 teenagers that is a little bit,
You can try, but then they're having their Instagram and there's so much there that pretty much you just see the end result. But I believe that if you are who you are and you're giving them, the best you can give them, they will find their way. Just lead by example.
Yep, for sure.
Well, so Tile Collective.
Yes.
You worked there. You worked with Devin.
I did. She was my first intern, or I was her first intern, I think, at time when she opened. Yes.
Okay. How was it?
Amazing. And I remember knowing nothing. Yeah, I remember just looking at her studio and just thinking all the tiles were so beautiful, but I had no idea what a porcelain or a limestone or a marble or I had no idea what those materials even meant. I didn't even know how they could be applied, where they could be used, but it turned out to be one of the best experiences I've ever had. She would take me to job sites, massive job sites, because, Devin does massive things. Right. And I learned how to read architectural plans, and she trusted me, and I got to lead some projects, and it was really just on top of her just being a wonderful person, she's one of the reasons I am here today.
Yeah. Do you feel like part of the reason you're here, if we're talking about that, I should say, is just because you got in touch with a lot of different interior designers and you got exposed to so many like different design cultures and models. And
I think
I want to do that as well.
What?
I think I was wondering if you said to yourself, I want to do that. I think I'm going to do it real well.
I think at that time I didn't have that mindset. I think my mindset was also on it. I had to also provide for my family and be a sole provider. I think that was my number one thought. So there was no like, can I do this? Is this going to work? It was just the only way. So Devin was one of my mentors. Another one was Ruda. She's another interior designer that I really just, I would send her my contracts. I would ask her, where do I go buy this? Where do I get plumbing? What helped me with my sourcing? So I really did lay into a couple other ones as well. And they helped me pave the way to where I am today. Amazing. And if it wouldn't have been for them, I'm not sure where I would be today, but I will say I will never forget, and I would always like to carry that forward and help people get there. So.
Yeah, amazing. Well, jumping in timeline and saying, now I want to become an interior designer. I made a decision. How that process been for you working for Tile Collective and then transitioning? How was the communication with Devin, telling her that? I'm sure you were really important to her, and this whole thing was just emotional in a way.
Very.
So tell me about that a little bit.
How
you decide? Hey, I wanna. That's it. I'm starting my own, and
it was really she pushed me to do it.
Really?
Yes, I was like, "What? You're done with me here?" I think she saw that I had a knack for residential and I was really into construction, and sales probably wasn't, I don't think I was really any good at it, to be honest. And I remember somehow I was getting these projects from friends. Hey, can you help me with my house? One was actually huge. And I kind of did it. And it was really her pushing me out the door. Okay, go to start your career, Keri. So again, like I think she knew it was a great foundation that she laid, but that wasn't it for me.
Yeah. And she was smart enough to say, I'm keeping the relationship good.
Yeah.
Because that will lead me to more
exactly.
success instead of me keeping somebody that doesn't want to, that's not their place.
Exactly.
So she was smart to teach you that as well, or
and
just show that. Yeah. And now look at you, you're neighbors.
We're neighbors.
You're neighbors.
Full circle.
Yeah. So you start as an interior designer at this point, and you're starting to get clientele. I'm sure there are moments that it feels scary or intimidating, or you got a lot on your shoulders. Tell me about the feeling of like, okay, I got this big one project, and I'm figuring it out as I'm going. How that felt for you?
Oh, that one back then, the first one that I was talking to you about.
The first one, the second one, the third one. It just felt like it's big and it's all you know.
Right. I felt like I don't ever remember feeling like intimidated, like I can't do this. I feel like if you look at a project and kind of dissect it, it doesn't feel as overwhelming. And, we have a step-by-step process now. So yes, if it's a large project or even a tricky kitchen remodel, I don't ever look at it like, oh my gosh, can I do that? I think you just have to, it comes with working with a good team, having good system and processes. And that is how we take these large projects or smaller, tricky, or however, and they don't feel overwhelming. Yeah. Also having, like you spoke on a few minutes ago, I have a wonderful team. I couldn't do it without them.
You do. No names, but they're just amazing. Yeah. They're fun to work with, and the energy is good. Well, I think now your work kind of speaks for itself, and your portfolio is growing, and things are actually happening for you and your business. Yes. So you're kind of moving from a young interior designer into this business, right?
Sure.
And maybe tell me about some aha moments in your in your 6 years now that you felt like, oh, I think I figured that thing out. Or for me, I'll talk for myself.
Yeah.
I figure things out every day,
right?
And then the next day, or improving them, or saying, oh, that's not a good idea.
For sure.
And for me, I came from a military background. You used to shoot, as training, you used to shoot your weapon a lot.
Right.
And you use old weapons sometimes from the 70s, and sometimes they tweak right, go left, and all you do is you're just doing this very slight adjustment to your weapon, and you're starting to shoot in the middle every single time.
Yes.
And but you must shoot.
Yep.
Right.
Yes. And
so for me, it was just to take actions and make moves, not to be too dumb and too rushed on them, but to make moves even if they're scary to get better. And I was wondering what was it for you?
I feel like, yes, of course, this is a mistake industry. They happen and you have to own them. I think for one, when Robin started with me, who is my operations manager, years ago, at least I think 5 years ago, when I was using manila envelopes as folders for like my jobs. We have gone to so many workshops and trainings and just really, and podcasts, you name it, to just really define and make our systems and processes to be the most organized as we possibly could be. So yes, when we aim, sometimes we do miss a little bit, but we evaluate, what did we do wrong? What could we do differently? And we sharpen the tool and we change things. And that's always evolving in our business. I mean, we just had a meeting on that 2 days ago. We looked at a situation where we missed. How can we fix this? And I think that's really important in this industry. It's so a finger pointing industry at sometimes, but you have to own your own stuff, and that's when you will be respected, and you will feel respected about the work that you do. I think on to that point too, I'm always receiving information. I don't ever feel like I know everything. I always want to be open-minded. I always want to be aware and able to receive from you, contractors, trades, reps, vendors, because we're always learning and growing. Construction is a whole different language. I always joke that it's like another language, right? So I always want to receive that information and appreciate it and be aware of it. Otherwise, don't even do this job.
Yeah, we talk about people. People around you. If that's your own people, in-house people, or just collaborators.
Yep.
That are smarter than you, better than you,
Yep.
can teach you,
Yes.
can feed you, and you can feed them back. And I think that's really important because that's the same here at least for me. The moment that changed me was, anyway, my first employee, her name was Paige. She walked in, she had purple hair, and she came with this, Rastaman vibe into my office. I had no employees, and she knocked on the door, and I'm looking for a job. And I was like, sit down, we'll figure something out because I'm drowning. Yeah. I cannot continue like that. So part of growth is letting go of the vine and just
yes.
let people do what they do the best. Sometimes they're more organized.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're more, or they can have the time to be organized in a different way because I'm
running around with their head cut off.
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Business ownership and our mindset is jumping from one thing to another.
Place. Yes.
And we need people to help us stay focused. And sometimes we also need talent. For example, I could never do what Jenny's doing. I just don't have the skills.
Same with Rosie. Don't. She's my CAD SketchUp queen. I could never do it.
Yeah, I just can't. And I cannot be on all those multiple job sites. I do have an amazing carpentry team and amazing PM teams that are doing it for me. But at the same time, we kind of lead the vision. Yes. But we take back, and we're staying humble.
Absolutely.
So that's amazing.
Yes.
Now you got your own business. I mean, you got a DNA at this point.
Yep.
For yourself, I mean, if somebody's looking at your jobs, and we'll talk about that later, but they can see a cohesive line of design. So this is how it looks.
Right.
Maybe tell me about, what kind of leads your design line today and why.
I think it goes back to, again, my being raised by a mom who was very much into the outdoors and being always bringing flowers and stems, and we were very outdoorsy family, always hiking and camping. So I feel like that is something that I like to bring into my projects. We are definitely known to be earthy, slightly coastal, and a more gentle approach to design. So that's kind of, I think, where we are now. Or I think earthy would probably be our number one. I love bringing texture, real materials into our projects. Not much fake that we do.
Yeah. Done. I mean, we got enough designers to do the fake thing.
Right.
We can stick to what's less.
Yeah.
Which kind of leads me to my next question. What do you feel like is now here, but not going to be here tomorrow? Just this one trend.
I know I think about that a lot, to be honest. What do I think is going to be gone?
Yeah. Like everybody's doing it now, but it is already boring, and I know it's not going to last.
I mean, I feel like natural's here to stay. The man-made materials like the quartz and the porcelain, not so much. I think those are to go. As far as like cabinetry, I know that there was the fluted cabinetry stage or door stage, but I still like in certain projects it actually works. I just think it has to be used appropriately and in the right space and not be overwhelming. I think that was a really big phase, and I don't think it's going anywhere, but I think it just needs to be used correctly and not be overwhelming. I'm trying to think of other fads. Can you think of any?
For me, I'm just seeing a lot of white oak, and it is very, very beautiful. But I think that at some point another wood will come into play and change the vibe. I'm doing a lot of white oak now, and I love it. I think it's beautiful. My house is with
everybody
white oak.
Wants it. That's the most requested.
Wants it. Yeah.
I would say we're using a lot of alder as well. Alder, and I'm doing a project down in San Diego with walnut.
Yep.
Those particular clients come from the East Coast, a very more traditional clientele, and they want that rich, and so that's really important. I think it also depends on where you live and what's your environment. Different areas call for different materials. So I think the white oak will stay, but I'm doing a project right now in San Marcos where we're doing alder, and white oak was not for their project.
Yeah.
So I think as a designer, you have to know when to bend and flex.
Yeah.
With the client, with their story, and with the location.
Now you sense me
budget.
kind of jumping from like more, emotional questions to very like technical and taste related questions. But I'm going back to some of the, I'm going to say not emotional, but I think at the end of the day, people really want to listen to a story, and we want to tell that story, and we want to help.
Yes.
We have 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes that we can give back. But it's just my brain again, jumping from one thing to another. But I'll go back to maybe something that people feel like that's the number one issue, and it's not necessarily related to us always, is the end professionals or the high achiever professionals, whatever, or it's the clientele, right? We're getting client, we don't know what we're getting ourselves into. Right. And sometimes we were trying to test them. Sometimes we had this one client together. We tested it. We just felt it's not going to work. Yeah. We both dropped it at the same time.
Exactly.
And I think for the good.
Yes, for sure.
But we are getting, I'm sure you're getting, because I'm getting that as well, a very sometimes more challenging clients, and we need to walk now for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, who knows?
The new build, yeah.
And sometimes you're deep into the process, and boom, their faces are, things are changing, and things are escalating sideways or moving to a whole different direction.
I'm smiling because we're just finishing that with a client, and we're almost there. I promised the girls we're all going to the spa day.
Yeah.
It happens.
For us, we were just having this client board, and we were looking at it sometimes, and we're like, hey, it's always like this 20-30% of our clients going to give us hard time. It doesn't matter what we do. And we need to accept it as part of the industry. But tell me about your approach. Like what
my approach. Yeah, my approach is to say less. Number one, I feel like your question is when I have a difficult client.
You got a difficult client, and you need to manage them now for their energy, their marriage, their family arrangement.
At the end of the day, it's their money, right? It's their money, so it's my job to walk them through it as gracefully as I can. And if they're hard-nosed about a certain material or a certain look, even though I don't think it's timeless, I don't think that material is pretty, I have learned that it's their money. And I've done my job as educating them and showing them the material that I think should be used in their space with drawings and renderings, but it's their space. So I have to accept that. I think to that point, I tell my team all the time, we can learn and grow from this client. It's how our attitude and how we deal with this is what's going to make it not as stressful, not keep you up at night. So it's also our approach, and what can we learn from that? And from the job that we just basically just finished, we had that discussion. It's so easy again to point fingers, and this person's difficult, and that clients, not appreciative, which doesn't feel good because we're working so hard behind the scenes, as you know, to make everything as seamless as possible. But you can always, there's things we can always do differently and accept our responsibility and accept our faults and how can we turn this around? And at the end of the day, I'm grateful. They're my clients, and they help keep the doors open.
I must tell you something. Personally, I had this one client back in the days, and we're I'm looking at my clients. I'm giving them the best services I can, the best services we can as a team. But at the end of the day, I really want them, because that's our marketing. We want them to refer us out.
Yeah.
And we want them to keep on rolling our names to their neighbors. And sometimes you finish off, not necessarily because of you. Sometimes just this project is not going well.
Yeah,
It's just everything just goes wrong.
Yes.
The clients are not appreciative, as you just
Yes.
said. And you're like, okay, I'll never get a referral from them. And I got this client, and it's really interesting that I'm keep on getting referrals
From the client.
from this client that ended up in such a door slam.
There you go.
They're like, we're not happy, blah, blah, blah. And we're like, I was there every single day at the end of the project just to make sure finishes are being done right. And they were trying to shake hands when I'm done. All the subs left not getting paid.
Right.
Not because of anything. It's just, I don't want that money.
Right.
I just want out.
Done. You want to be done.
I want done. You owe me $5,000. I'll give up on that.
Yeah,
Go
right.
hire somebody
Not
else.
worth it.
And I did. And we managed.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was like, you know what? We spent a year here. This project is beautiful. They're very private on, how they do business, and I'm not going to get business from them.
Right.
And we are getting
See?
business from them. So it is you never know.
You never know.
You're looking at yourself and you're saying, I got into that T intersection. I could turn right and be an asshole. I could turn left and just kill them with kindness.
Yep.
And I did it again and again and again. And it helped, because
I think that's so
they're
true.
fighting you, but they're fighting their family members. They're fighting
Everyone.
their gardeners. They're fighting their lawyers. They're fighting everybody. So
I think you hit
gotta
the nail on the coffin. You kill them with kindness, and that's who we are as people.
Yeah,
anyway,
I was smiling
yes,
through the harsh, and
yes.
it was just
not sleeping at night. But it's, and then you know that you're doing your best, and if you know that you're doing your best, and then look at that, you're getting referrals. So that makes it's all worth it.
Yeah, no, I stopped not sleeping at nights. It was a whole year, and now I'm like, that's it.
Feels good.
I'm no matter what, it's not worth my mental health.
It's not.
I'll tell you that.
It's not. But when you're in the middle of a project, you can't just walk away either. So
you cannot. But you use your team, and you trust your people, and
you talk and you vent to them as well. That's what we're there. We're also, your work is your other family. So we're there to communicate and talk every day about these kind of things. Because if you walked in here every day and if you guys weren't talking about it, that wouldn't really work, would it?
Yeah. So other than the design details, what keeps you up at night? Other than executing the design details as you wanted them?
I really try not to. 4 or 5 years ago, everything kept me up at night. I feel now that I know everything is there's a solution for everything. That means, you and I and the contractor have to have a meeting, or if I have to buy 2 more slabs, or whatever the issue is, everything will work itself out. Construction is not drawings to actuality. There's a lot that happens in between. So I think that now I align myself with good contractors, quality like you, so we can sleep at night.
Right.
Yes, things come up. It's construction, and but I really, really feel it's not good for you. So yes, it happens here and there, but overall, I've kind of been in this industry longer now that it all works out. It just does.
So on the other hand, what keeps how's your routine, your health routine, or your how you keep your mind healthy in the right place? What is your exercise routine, if any? Or
I work out every morning. If I get up at 5 o'clock, and
start from the morning. You wake up. What's
get my coffee.
Get your coffee.
I have my coffee. I lay in my bed for a few minutes, maybe check my emails, and I'm off to the gym by 5:45, or I'm on a run, and every day except for the weekends.
You're running, or you're just doing?
I run, or I go to the gym.
Amazing.
I don't run to the gym.
Okay.
But yeah, that keeps me mentally healthy. And just getting a good night's sleep is also really important.
Water and nutrition.
Water, lots of water. Time with my friends and family, that's huge. Vacations. I had one of the trades I was talking to yesterday. One of these, he's like, you travel a lot, and I don't even think I do that much. I'm like, well, I don't do this for nothing. You know, you have to have a mental break. So I think that's important too. Another thing that I do now that I didn't used to is I don't work on weekends. I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't
Same.
know how, do you?
Nope.
No.
No, I cut it at Friday midday. Sometimes I will work from home at Friday, and I'll do like a nice day for myself with Gil or with the little ones, depending on the day.
Yeah.
And I do prioritize my mental health and my physical health before everything else in my life, to be honest, before my family, before my kids, because I cannot provide for them if not.
No.
That's my number one thing,
present.
and I'm saying it proudly because I feel like if you're not really saying it proudly and you're hiding between, no, it's first of all my wife and my kids and my work.
Right.
No, it's first of all me.
Me.
If you want me in my best, I need to say that again and again and again. Yeah, I'm selfish, and that's fine.
It is fine because no one else is going to take care of you. You have to take care of yourself, and you know. And I feel we're also our best contractor, designer for our clients if we're mentally, not exhausted and stressed. So
I surf. That's my meditation.
Oh, that's right.
I work out, and I eat really well. I'm trying to cook my own food. I'm trying to grow my own food now.
Okay, that's
next level. That's next level. I know. I'm working
not
on
there
it
yet.
And I think next home, I'm looking for a more farm.
Oh, that's so cool.
2-table.
Yeah. Would you do that all yourself?
Now we were kind of growing our own vegetables. I'm trying to get a chicken. Gil is like, no, you're not getting chicken here. Are you crazy? But I had chickens in Israel, so I'm used to my own eggs.
I've heard they're a mess.
They're a mess, but I'm.
But if you're up for the work, it's just
I'm
like
almost gonna make my own wine. I'm so
That's
ready.
cool.
I'm so ready for. I came from the Mediterranean, and we are not eating any processed food. And I came here. My first couple of years, I ate Panda Express and Chipotle, and I thought, okay, that's good for me. But I was just fresh out of the boat. I didn't know anything.
Yes.
I worked as a locksmith for my first couple of years at night, and was in Chicago, South Side. My story is long.
Yeah.
Maybe one day I'll tell it to people. But
yes, please.
Came in extremely broke. I touched the bottom of the barrel mentally, and I picked myself up. Moved to California, started my business, changed my routine completely, and now I'm like, I'll never go back there. Never ever. Doesn't matter what. Everybody needs to touch the the bottom to understand how it feels. And I wish it for a lot of people. And I wish you to go down to understand that before it was pretty nice. Go back there because you can.
Yeah. I don't know if do you ever wish your children, I don't want my children to experience that, but I sometimes want them to know what that, I know they've seen it, but can they feel what
I do want them
to
feel that. I feel that's really important. And if I want them strong and resilient, they must be with their backs to the wall. It doesn't matter how good I'm doing and how much I can provide for them. Now they're very little. Mine's are 1 year and 4.
Right,
I'm in
ones.
that phase of just protecting and making sure they're safe.
Right.
But down the line, when they start being like little jerks, go figure it out. Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm your safety net, and that's it.
That's right.
Nothing else.
Right.
Because this is how I got raised, and I felt like that was really good for me personally.
Mm-hmm. And there's no one grows up and has a perfect childhood or a perfect life. That just doesn't exist. So we're all, your children, my children, they're going to go through their own different highs and lows, and that's just that's life.
And you got 2 boys.
2 boys.
How is it to be
love boy mom love? They're very close with both of them, so they're my everything. As your kids are too.
They are. Well, I think we kind of covered a lot of things, and I think it was just a perfect 34 minutes of our chat. Personally, I'm really happy that I met you because I know for myself that I'm not working with tons of designers. I'm married to one, and she's just a one-woman show.
Yeah.
And I was really looking for 1 or 2 other designers that I feel emotionally connected to, professionally on the same level, that can really speed up with me when I need it. Yep. And they're locally based. And as long as you're going to be part of the industry, you got me as your, as your friend.
We're stoked.
We are now, so whoever is following me and Keri, we were doing this Del Mar project, which is literally an oceanfront property.
Oceanfront, sand in your toes.
Yeah, for a really cool client and a really cool mom. if she's
very
ever
cool,
going.
Mom.
And now we're right in the middle of the ADU. Kind of, I guess both of our heads are in the main house now in a way. Just how that thing gonna turn out being.
Yes.
The views, the everything there are going to be super cool. So if you're following, please check it out. And whoever want to follow you, Keri, or get in touch with you for projects, how can they find you?
Yeah, my Instagram is Keri Michelle Interiors, and my website is KeriMichelleInteriors.com. So pretty easy.
Cool. Now, if anyone is listening and they feel like they're in the bottom barrel, or they want to get a piece of advice, feel free to reach out. I love it. I think that if you're you're a contractor, a designer, architect, and you're financially in a problem, you're in a insurance problem, you're in a legal problem, you're in an employee problem, any problem, please reach out. I think me or even Keri, if that's more of an interior designer niche, will help you understand what's wrong and how you can make it better, or just listen to you. But as Keri said, there is a solution to everything. So please keep that in mind.
Absolutely.
Have a great rest of your week. Any plans for the weekend?
It's Mother's Day, so
Correct.
time with my children. We'll probably go to the beach, maybe play some pickleball, maybe some champagne. Yeah.
I'm taking Gil to the proper in Santa Monica.
Oh my, how cool. Just you two? No kids?
Just the both of us.
Amazing.
I
Yay.
think Mother's Day, so enjoy yourself.
Exactly, right? No dishes, no
No
laundry,
nothing, no
no
nothing.
mom.
Yeah.
Mine are older, so it's different now, you know?
We're going to stop surfing and then we're going to go and do nothing.
She surfs too?
I surf.
Just enjoys
She
the sand.
loves
Yes.
the ocean, so
Yeah.
we're going to figure something out.
Your wife is very sweet.
It's also our anniversary. So
Oh, congratulations.
and she's very sweet.
Yes, yes.
I think that's it for today. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Such a
Welcome.
pleasure.